My name is Nicole Ward. I'm also called Guru Karam Kaur, and I'm pleased to be hosting this program. For me, Kundalini Yoga and all the different paths of yoga have been an amazing journey in self-discovery and healing and transformation. When I first began practicing yoga, it started as a way for me to deal with depression and anxiety and just the overwhelming challenges of these times. And as I continued to practice yoga and find more of a dedication, I just discovered that it could support me in so many ways. And then in 2001, my teacher, one of my teachers, I should say, my most beloved and foremost teacher, Yogi Bhajan, he told me that if you want to know about something, that you can read about it, and if you want to study, if you want to understand something, that you can study it and even write about it. But if you really want to master something, then teach it. And those words impacted me profoundly, and so I'm very pleased and happy to bring you this program, Yoga for Everybody. And tonight we're going to once again invite Dr. Yogi, Dr. Simran Singh and Saibhung Kaur, who's sitting to my left, Karyn Krause, to help us introduce Kundalini Yoga for those of you that may not be familiar with it. So I'm going to turn it over here. Welcome, Dr. Yogi.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining.
Tonight we're going to be talking about the essence and the fundamentals of Kundalini Yoga, the basics of Kundalini Yoga. And the idea is that after you watch this program, you'll be comfortable going to any Kundalini Yoga class and knowing which way to go, giving you some direction and some insights into the techniques in each of the aspects of Kundalini Yoga. To begin with, Kundalini Yoga uses all the aspects of yoga. It was one of the original yogas before yoga got more specialized in different branches. So it uses all the aspects of yoga. Meditation, it uses breath, it uses the body, it uses sound, there's an aspect of chemistry about food, there's lifestyles, and there's different technologies that are very specific to Kundalini Yoga. So let's talk about the very beginning of class. There's a beginning, a middle, and an end. And the very beginning is denoted and expressed by this mantra, Om Namo Gurudev Namo. And we always chant this at least 3 times before we start. It's very technically simple. Om Namo, O-N-G. We've all heard of Om, right? My friend here has it written on her necklace even. It's very beautiful. Om, O-M. That's the sound of infinity. And that's where we all come from. We all come from absolutely nothing. And we all go back to absolutely nothing. It's something to look forward to, really. But here we are manifest now as O-N-G, not Om, but Om. So the first sound is Om, and then Namo, or I acknowledge, or I respect, or I recognize the name. Om Namo. It literally means I see the infinite infinity within the finite you, which is the infinite self. Om Namo. And then Gurudev Namo. All that infinity in the universe is manifested inside you. Gurudev. That's the special sacredness inside you. Everything outside, the whole universe, is manifest within you in Gurudev. That's the sacred part. That's the self-teacher. And that's also why Kundalini Yoga is a little different than some other yogas. Yogi Bhajan came here specifically in 1969 to create teachers, not to collect students. Seems like a little thing, but it's a very big distinction. It's a distinction of empowerment. It's acknowledgement that the soul is self-illuminated, Saibhung. It's exactly self-illuminated, needs no other help, And everybody has the potential to be a Kundalini Yoga teacher as soon as they start being a Kundalini Yoga student. The best teacher is the best student. And the best student will eventually be a great teacher. It always works kind of funny. People come to teacher training. Some come because they want to be teachers. And they realize they have to have an in-depth practice, so they end up developing their in-depth practice. And then some folks come specifically to make their practice deeper. And they realize to really do that, they have to teach eventually. So it works that way for both people. Let's try this Om Namo Gurudev Namo 3 times and see how it works for us. So put the hands together at the center of the chest, the mind nerve. Hands are flat together, thumbs are together, and the fingers are out at about 60-degree angle from the sternum. Take a deep breath in and close the eyes. And go ahead and chant Om Namo Gurudev Namo in one breath. Good. Deep breath again. Once again, now this time from the navel point, and really enunciate with the tip of the tongue. Excellent. Inhale and relax. Relax the hands down and just sit normally for a moment. That's tuning in. There's many analogies to tuning in, but it basically sets us all in the same frequency, in the same space. It creates a level of sacredness. It creates a locale of speciality. It creates a certain devotion to the practice that is required. Kundalini Yoga is a very powerful technology. Practiced without sacredness, it is not good, it's not healthy, it does not work. It must have a certain level of devotion. One of the limbs of yoga is the yoga of devotion, bhakti. So have that practice to yourself, to your own spirit and soul inside, is crucial. There are 2 breaths that we use in Kundalini Yoga. I'd like to show them to you next. The first one is breath of fire. And I'll show you the very simple way to learn it today. Stick your tongue out all the way. Begin panting. That's pretty good. Now keep doing the same breath, but do it through your nose. Now kind of loosen it up a little. Yeah, that's breath of fire. It's a diaphragmatic breath. Everything else is fine. The diaphragm just goes up and down. It counts technically as one breath, yogically. Your life is measured by how many breaths you take. And breath of fire counts as one long breath. It loosens the diaphragm, it empowers the navel point, and it gives you your potency. The element of fire is the element that gives you your potency, your ability to project, to penetrate through. Okay, inhale really deep, big belly, inhale a little more, exhale, and come laying down on your back. So breath of fire is pretty simple. It's like panting, but it's through the nose. This next breath is called long, deep breathing. And you can just imagine what that is. It's a long, deep breath. I'm going to guide these 2 folks through it for a few minutes. Inhale very deeply through your nose. And let your belly come up like a big Santa Claus. I know you want to be skinny in your side, but it's okay. Let the belly come out a little bit. Now inhale a little more and pull the navel point back a little. There. That's your powerful inhale. Now exhale and squeeze the navel all the way back to the spine. Exhale and squeeze it out, and hold it out. Inhale again, big belly breath. Now inhale a little more, pull the navel back a little bit, just a little retention. Don't squeeze the navel on the inhale, but it needs to have what we call navel stability. Exhale and squeeze the navel all the way back. Squeeze the air out, push the air out, let it all go. Long deep breath is done in 4 parts usually. Inhale deeply, that'll be part 1. Inhale, let the belly come up, and then pull the belly back a little bit. At the very end of the breath, get a little navel stability, hold the breath in, that's part 2. It's good to retain the breath and just sit for a moment. It gives you hope. Now exhale, squeeze the belly back. Squeeze the navel point back. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Hold it, let it sit out for a moment. Confront your fear of death. Inhale deep. Inhale big, big, big breath, huge. Exhale and relax. And that's long, deep breathing. When asked to do long, deep breathing, try to make it as long as possible. The place where your consciousness meets your unconsciousness is in your breath. You can breathe unconsciously for your entire life, and just like you can live unconsciously for your entire life. It is your choice, and it's a free world. You can do what you want. But if you want to be a conscious human, you must consciously breathe. That's your first interaction with being conscious, is overcoming the automatic breath to put in the conscious breath. So when you start to take command over your breath, you start to take command over your life. You start to take responsibility for your life, and you understand that everything that comes to you is created by your own vibration. If your life is hectic, then hectic things will surround you. If you pay your bills late, people will pay you late. If you pay your bills early, people will pay you sooner. Whatever you put out, you get back exactly like that. You put out fear, you'll have all these afraid people around you. People that have a desire to survive. If you have an abundant concept, then you'll always come from that place of abundance. You'll always be serene and happy and confident. The next part about Kundalini Yoga, let's talk about the movement and the breath together. So please come sitting up. And can you sit with your legs out in front of you? Now, can you reach forward, please, without bending your spine, and grab your knees, your ankles, or your toes. Now, tuck your chin. Chin lock is the most crucial part of Kundalini Yoga. Not that other parts aren't important, but chin lock is our biggest mistake commonly. Inhale in this up position through your nose. Exhale, bend your elbows and pull with your arms, so you're trying to pull your nose over your toes. Inhale all the way up again. Straighten your spine, tuck the chin in so there's no curve in your neck. Exhale, pull down with your biceps. Try to pull yourself over your toes. And go ahead and continue at your own pace. Inhaling consciously up and consciously go down. Just a few times on your own, go ahead. Keep moving with your breath. Fold only at your waist, never at your diaphragm. Fold only at your waist, never at your neck. Always strive to elongate the spine, never strive to compress the spine. Give people more space. Don't try to confine them. Give people freedom. Don't try to control them. Give your breath some room and stretch forward. Elongate your spine. Okay, now keep going. Now inhale all the way up. Inhale all the way up and say to yourself inside silently the word Sat, S-A-T. Exhale, come all the way down, and in your mind say the word Nam as you exhale. Continue inhaling up, and hear the word Sat in your own voice, then Nam as you come down and forward. Continue. Sat on the inhale up, Nam down. Begin to control your self-talk, and you begin to control the frequencies of your mind. You begin to direct your mind to things that you want it to focus upon. You can manifest your goals if you stay focused on them. If you have commitment, you have the opportunity for success. But without commitment, there's no success. So every breath, make a commitment. Every breath will be powerful. Every breath will be full. Every breath will be complete. And every exhale will be honest. I will let every bit of it go. Every molecule I'll push out of my lungs until it's all empty, ready for the next breath, ready to accept the next breath. Push it out and bring it in. Push it out and bring it in. Breathe deep. You have a great future. Come on. Just a few more times, a few more breaths. Okay, inhale all the way up, stretch up. Exhale, come laying on the stomach. That was the art of flexion. Now let's look at the art of extension. Extension is the most misdone part of yoga. Please put the feet together so the heels are touching. Keep the heels touching and place the hands under the shoulders. Come up into Cobra pose. Now keep the shoulders down and back and come up as far as you can. Try to keep your hips staying on the ground, but arch the chest forward, keeping the shoulders down and back. The head can come back at the same angle as the spine is in, but no more. Now begin long, deep breathing for the first minute. Close the eyes. Now stay in this posture and just breathe for a moment. Now let's add dristi. Let's add a different element. About 60% of our brain is wired directly for vision. And as soon as we look at something, about 60% of our mental energy goes to analyze what we're looking at. And guess what? If you go inside, you end up looking inside. You can use that 60% to go inside yourself, to understand you. Understand your inner workings, your inner matrix, your inner systems. The optic nerve cradles the pituitary gland. And where you move it in these specific focuses, like at the tip of the nose, at the third eye point, the top of the head or the chin, they're all specific focuses that create a specific pressure on the hypothalamus and the pituitary. They have specific glandular reactions. When you control your optic nerve and you control your breath, you control 80% of your facets. Now begin breath of fire. 30 seconds, powerful breath. Really go. And you know what the purpose of yoga is? Anybody know? Saibhung, what do you think is the purpose of yoga?
To connect to the mind with the breath.
Well, yeah. Very mental answer. Very female answer. What do you think, Guru Karam?
To obey.
Oh, okay. It's a good answer, you know. What's our goal in yoga? Inhale deep, stretch up. Exhale, come down. Why do people do things like yoga? And so why do people do anything in life?
To feel good.
For happiness.
Feel good.
Go ahead and sit up. Sit up in easy pose. I'll get a tight shot on these two folks. Sit kind of closer together and look right into the movie camera. No. Right now, be happy. No, I'm serious. Flood yourself with happiness. Think of all the emotions of happiness you could imagine. Now close your eyes. Imagine right now you're in love. You see the whole room changed. I smell flowers. Keep your eyes closed. Don't go outside that. Now you're in love. And love is blind and love is crazy. They say that God is love. They say that Ray Charles is blind. So, thus, Ray Charles is God. If love is blind and Ray Charles is blind, then Ray Charles is really God. He was pretty close. Keep your eyes closed. Feel that love feeling. You are in love. Imagine you're in the most love you're in love within love, being in love. You're insanely in love. It's a place of insanity. Now feel like you had that relationship, not with some creep, but with your own spirit. There. Now you can have anything you want. The world is at your fingertips. You've learned how to control your mind with mantra, with the self-talk of the sound. You've learned to control your thoughts by controlling your breath and your eye focus. Now, there's one more part of yoga. The one is sitting, and they've done really well. If you can just sit and learn how to sit comfortably without reacting, that is such a skill. That is the beginning of meditation. But the last part of class, we'll end our class with today as well. And that is singing this beautiful old-time song. So let's just give it a whirl. Go ahead and put your hands together. And strike up the tune. Inhale deep.
May the long time sun shine upon you. All love surround you.
Oh yeah.
And the pure light within you guide your way on. May the long time sun shine upon you. All will surround you. And the pure light within you guide your way on. Guide your way on. Guide your way on.
Huge inhale, massive inhale. Now vibrate the nam.
Sat Nam.
May the light within you illuminate all around you, and may in all circumstances you act like a forklift of upliftment. May you be a beacon of light to those who are in a storm, an emotional storm, a spiritual storm, a mental storm. May you pick people out of their drama and trauma and give them enlightenment and happiness. May your presence be sacred and divine. Satnam and Waheguru.
Satnam Waheguru.
Well, that was very beautiful. You feel happier now?
Oh yeah.
You feel the sensitivity?
Thanks for joining us. Again, another program of Yoga for Everybody. I want to thank Hari Simran. That was an awfully beautifully practiced. Thank you so much. And I want to thank Saibhung Kaur, who's a recent graduate.